amnes demones ex hoc loco expello. Live stream. It's another box of dogs.
Yeah, but I know what'll make you feel better.
Oh, no, not another box of dogs!
It's another box of dogs!
Well, howdy, folks. It's been a while. But we're back. We're back. We're bigger back. We're back bigger. We're building back bigger and better. Let me just check that we are actually streaming. And tonight we are actually streaming to 5 locations, which is very cool. Trying something different. Got us on Kick and on Facebook, which is going to be interesting. I'm not sure if I've got Kick comments up, but I'll see them on the restream page. So I just wanted to come and talk about a few things. Got a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. But first of all, I want to start with my hero of the internet, Bebo. A little over 7 years ago today, let's enlarge that. A little over 7 years ago today, a man, a great man, a white man, showed us how a white man deals with a mental health crisis. And considering, what the hell is going on here? Considering that I am feeling on the verge of a mental health crisis, I wanted to talk about the Sky King, legend Sky King. This is how we deal with a mental health crisis. We don't reach out for help. We steal an aeroplane and we crash that fucker into an island after doing barrel rolls. That's how it's done, man. I don't know what it is about that story of Richard Russell stealing a plane, flying around for a couple of 73 minutes, I think it was, and then just going nose down into an island. It was just, it gets me emotional. I don't know why. It probably shouldn't. I probably should be like, oh, it was suicide and stuff, because that's what it was. Funnily enough, they kept saying it's a hijacking. He's hijacked the plane. Is it really a hijacking? Wasn't it just grand aircraft auto theft, grand theft aircraft? Surely it was just like, to me, a hijacking is when you get on a plane, someone else takes off. Oh, we have got Kick on here. Tired of streaming to 0? Let's change that. Only at, all right, whatever. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, I'm probably streaming to no one on Kick because I've just started on Kick today, so I'm not that worried about it. Bro. But anyway, thanks for commenting. Appreciate it. Keep commenting. I'll take a look at your site later. So anyway, Richard Bebo Russell. He was born September 1989 in Key West, Florida, and earned his nickname Bebo as an infant from his family and friends. He moved to Wasilla, Alaska at the age of 7, where he spent most of his childhood. Russell attended Wasilla High School, graduating in 2008, where he excelled as a natural athlete, participating in wrestling, track and field, and football as a hard-hitting fullback who scored 6 touchdowns in his senior year. He chose a Bible verse for his yearbook quote: whoever enters an athletic competition wins the prize only when playing by the rules. He was a devout Christian. He got involved in a lot of Christian activities. He was part of youth groups and whatever. He went off to college. He did quite well socially, but his college years, his athletics sort of died off a bit. After high school, Russell was recruited to play football at Valley City State University in North Dakota, but left the team after his second season, not achieving the same athletic success as in high school. He later transferred to Southwestern Oregon Community College in Coos Bay, Oregon, where he joined Campus Crusade for Christ and mentored high school students. He met Hannah, his wife. They started a business. He was still doing the Christian stuff, but then she wanted to move be closer to her family, so they moved to Washington. And that's when Russell started working as a ground service agent. A ground service agent. Baggage handler, basically, but not just a baggage handler. They'd move planes around. They'd do all sorts of stuff. That's called foreshadowing, I think. While working, Russell pursued further education online at Washington State University Global Campus, majoring in social sciences, and graduated cum laude with a BA in 2017. He expressed interest in advancing to a management position at Horizon Air. But I think I need to pull up a bit of, let's have a look at some of the, I saw a little, this, what made me want to do this. I wasn't going to play any videos tonight, but I will, because this is absolutely Sky King. Let's fucking go. I don't know why this story, every time I'm reminded of the Sky King, I'm just like, fucking, here we go. 7 years ago today. It's amazing. I got into the discussion on this. It's just intense. You discuss anything online and it turns into an absolute clusterfuck so quickly. People take it. It's impossible. It's kind of impossible to talk to people online, but you know what? It is fun. Okay, so why is that all off to the side there? Let's fix that. So yeah, this is really just the story of a guy who was just fucking beaten down by his job, his life. He was not digging it. But he seems like the kind of guy that he just was a bit too much for life.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
The fucking Alaska Airlines Q400. What the fuck is he doing over here?
Any idea if a Dash 8 Q400 can do a barrel roll?
Just flying the plane around, you seem comfortable with that?
Oh, hell yeah, it's a blast, man. I played video games before, so I know what I'm doing a little bit.
So now that's the kind of attitude you got to have in life, man. I play video games so I can fly a plane. That's the kind of attitude you got to have. That's a winner's attitude right there.
Nah, everything's peachy clean. Just did a little circle around right here. It's beautiful. I think I got some gas to go check out the Olympics. And, yeah.
Well, if you can see the Olympics, the weather's good. I can see the Olympics through my window, and it looks pretty good over there.
All right, because I hit some, felt like turbulence around right here, but there was no clouds hardly.
Oh, that's just the wind blowing over all the bumpy surfaces there.
Oh, copy that. Man, have you been to the Olympics? These guys are gorgeous. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I have been out there. It's always a nice drive.
This is probably like jail time for life, huh? I mean, I would hope it is for a guy like me. Damn it, Andrew! People's lives are at stake here.
Now, Rich, don't say stuff like that.
Nah, I told you, I don't want to hear no one. I just want you to whisper sweet nothings into my ear.
Hey, Rich, this is Captain Bill here. We're still listening. My airplane's doing just fine. How's yours?
I got a lot of people that care about me, and it's going to disappoint them to hear that I did this. I would like to apologize to each and every one of them. Just a broken guy. Got a few screws loose, I guess. Never really knew it until now. Hey, pilot guy, can this thing do a backflip, you think?
Well, I'd try to figure out how to use the autopilot first.
If you were to do it, how would you do it? Hey, you think if I land this successfully, Alaska will give me a job as a pilot?
I think they would give you a job of doing anything if you could pull this off.
Yeah, right.
That was a moment that inspired all the online fucking back and forth, because in the original, it's always edited out of these edits. But he said, and I found the clip and posted it, but he said, yeah, right. No, I'm a white guy. Which I always thought is a fascinating view into his psyche at the time and what he was going through. And it's amazing how just pointing that out, that he said that, inspires so many people, so much hatred in so many people.
I'm going to land it, in a safe kind of manner. I think I'm going to try to do a barrel roll, and if that goes good, then I'm just going to nose down and call it a night.
I do not know for the life of me why someone hasn't made a movie about this. This is the movie I want to make. Apparently it wasn't a barrel roll, it was an aileron roll, but who cares? Fucking nailed it.
POI 1 just completed a barrel roll. 1.2 confirmed he did a barrel roll. Affirmed he cleared the surface of the water by approximately 10 feet.
10 feet.
Put rock 2 from rock 1, and the POI 1 did a barrel roll and just barely missed hitting the water.
All right, Rich, this is Captain Bill. Congratulations, you did that. Now let's try to land that airplane safely and not hurt anybody on the ground.
All right. Damn it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to. I was kind of hoping that was going to be it, you know? For long, I feel like one of my engines is going out or something.
So after all that, he did indeed go nose down and just dive into an island and didn't hurt anyone except himself and a perfectly innocent aeroplane. Oh yes, that is the story of Richard Russell. Quite the legend in my... I don't know why that story inspires me so much. It's just like... And it's interesting because the reason they should make someone should make a movie out of it, and I want to make a movie out of it. The reason someone needs it, there are so many people that just absolutely love that guy. Like, he just went out. That's why he's called Sky King, because he went out like an absolute king. Just took a plane and did barrel rolls, flew around and crashed. I think you could build a lot of you could put a lot of drama in that movie. But yeah, he just so he's working his shift at the airport, the Seattle airport. Is that SeaTac? I don't know if that's SeaTac or not. So he's working his shift. He just goes out there and just grabs a plane, takes it out. Apparently the plane was being fixed, but there was nothing particularly wrong with it. It was just like a door or something. But like he really didn't know what he was doing. But the skill that he showed, like those planes, even experienced pilots say, no, you need two people. You need a co-pilot to pilot that thing. He just got up there and did it. And that's how you handle a mental health crisis. Where's the nearest airport? Anyway. Here's to the Sky King. What an absolute fucking legend, man. Anyway. Peace out, Sky King. Hope you're flying forever, brother. Let's dig into some other stuff. So I know Trump doesn't want people talking about Epstein, so we're going to talk about it. Because I have noticed that if you put Epstein in the title, you get more views. So, fuck it. I did a bit of research on it. Do you know about Epstein's will? This was very interesting. I found this quite fascinating. So Jeffrey Epstein signed this will 2 days before his suicide. Now, there's stuff online. There's a lot of stuff online. A lot of people don't think he's dead at all. And that's what I always thought. Why would you kill off an asset? Why would you risk there being a dead switch? That guy, like, the other thing about it is how many other Epsteins are there out there? Because that kind of, the service that he was providing, it's like a drug dealer. Like if you have a if you want to get drugs, you can't just get on it. You can't just Google Uber drugs and have someone deliver you drugs. You need a connection. You need someone that can get the drugs and will get the drugs for you. And I used to be that guy, so I know that's what it is. And it's a specialized thing. So if you're into being a PDF file, you need someone who can get those things. And it's a huge industry and it's a huge problem. And we're going to talk about AI kidnapping kids as well shortly to see just how deep this shit goes. It's not like they are using AI now to kidnap kids. In fact, I should probably pull that story up so you can see the... So, okay, I am going to play a couple of videos tonight. I'm just not that prepared. Okay, so anyway, he signed a will 2 days before he was suicided. Which, I mean, as I say, I don't believe he's dead. I don't think he's dead. There's people have been talking about that he was seen in Miami or Florida. Like one of his victims has come out and said that she saw him in Florida. And, you know, like I say, if you're into that kind of shit and that's what, you want, like the entire slave trade of sex slaves wouldn't exist without the facilitators. So it kind of pisses me off. Everyone's focused on Epstein. Like, fuck Epstein. Like, let's fucking catch some of these cunts that are doing it now. Melbourne, Florida. That's not what we want. Look, maybe I'll just tell the story, won't play the video. I'll try and find the video. So anyway, so there was a young girl, and she ran away from home one night, and she was staying at her grandmother's place. Where is it? I'll just do a search. So she was staying at her grandmother's place. She steals a phone and a debit card from her grandmother, and she takes off in the middle of the night, like 3 o'clock in the morning. The mother gets a call, and hang on, AI kidnapping. So the mother gets a call to tell her that the kid has run away. Okay, yeah, there it is. So the kid runs away. They discover that she's gone. The mother gets a call from the police in the middle of the night. They track the phone. They find her at the fucking port of entry, where there are 4 men in a black pickup truck waiting to pick this kid up. 15-year-old girl. They shut down the port of entry. They get her. They return her. They find out that she'd been catfished by a fucking AI. And the cartels are now using AI.
My daughter.
To catfish these kids.
My fucking daughter.
So I'll let the mother tell this story because it is fucking brutal. But this also all leads into what we're going to talk about. There's I'm going to talk about. I'll get back to Epstein in a sec, but we're going to talk about how they are, like what they're doing to the kids these days with AI and the education system. And then later on, we're going to have a rhetorical Q&A.
I have a 15-year-old daughter. I got a call from Apache Junction Police Department about 5:30 in the morning, letting me know that they were at my mom's house, that Lily had ran away in the middle of the night. She had stole her debit card and her phone. Within an hour, we had put Lily into the database, the national database, and they were tracking my mom's phone. They tracked my mom's phone about 7:15 in the morning in Douglas, Arizona. We live in Apache Junction, Arizona. Douglas is 215 miles from where we live. She was on her way to the port of entry. They shut down every port into the United States yesterday for my daughter. My daughter. My fucking daughter. She'd been talking to a boy on Instagram. She thought this boy was real. In the middle of the night, she decided to take an Uber that this boy sent to her house, her grandmother's house. Take that Uber 4 fucking hours to Douglas, Arizona, to the port of entry of Mexico. My daughter, my 15-year-old daughter. They dropped her off at the port of entry, and the Border Patrol did their fucking job and took my daughter into custody. The car that dropped her off was found almost 200 miles in the opposite direction, abandoned on the side of the I-10 outside of Casa Grande. The person that was at the border waiting for my daughter, that actually went up to Border Patrol agents and specifically asked for my daughter by name, was waiting for my daughter in a black pickup truck with 3 other men That truck is flagged for cartel involvement. My daughter was catfished and tricked by the cartel. 18 minutes they tracked her phone. 18 minutes. And I would have lost my daughter to Mexico for good. AI is how they're trapping these kids now. They will now use my daughter's images to trap another fucking kid. This is the vicious fucking cycle, and please, you guys, watch your fucking kids. Yesterday was a nightmare, and I'm still living it.
There you go. I asked AI the other day how we defeat AI, how we end AI, how we destroy it. Spoiler alert, it wouldn't tell me. Oh, fuck. It just said, well, you can try this and you can try that, but you're really not going to, I was talking about, but, then it'd be developed in secret. It's already been developed in secret. Who the fuck do you think? They've had AI for years. Anything that we have, the military have had for years. Now they've got Palantir on the job. I don't know. I just watch what we're doing with AI. It's just like, hey, let's build a demon. Let's build a demon entity to fucking take over every aspect of our lives. Anyway, that's a fun little story. AI is catfishing kids now and getting them to run away to the kidnappers, which, if you're a kidnapper, great business. I mean, that's great for business. I imagine the sex slave trade in Israel is going to be booming with AI. Not just Israel, it's all around the world, but Israel is one of the biggest countries on earth to still have a sex slave trade. Just worth noting, because they're such fine, upstanding people over there, those fuckers. Got some stuff on Gaza as well. Might get into that. It's the history of it. I don't know how much it helps to know the history of it. It seemed quite brutal. Anyway, back to Epstein. So, 2 days before he was suicided, he signed it, August 8, 2019, just 2 days before Epstein was found injured in his jail cell, ruled a suicide attempt, and 48 hours before his eventual death on August 10. Right, so it's 4 days before his death, but it was right before his first suicide attempt. He signed this will. So why so sudden? Epstein had been in jail for over a month. Why wait until the last possible moment to draft a will? There was no prior will on record, despite his vast wealth, which suggests either extreme negligence or deliberate last-minute planning. But the will left everything into something, you put everything into something called the 1953 Trust. He was born in 1953. And no one knows who the beneficiaries are. It's like a mystery beneficiary. The will placed $577 million, nearly his entire estate, into a newly created trust called the 1953 Trust, a reference to Epstein's birth year. No beneficiaries were named, highly unusual for such a large estate. Trustees were hand-picked. Darren Indyke, Epstein's longtime lawyer, later accused of helping facilitate his sex trafficking. Richard Kahn, Epstein's financial manager, also linked to suspicious transactions. The trust's secrecy means the money could have been funneled to hidden associates, co-conspirators, or even blackmail victims. So these two fuckers, Darren Indike and Richard Kahn, are the trustees. And it really, who can you trust? The will's odd provisions. $100,000 to Yolanda, an unidentified woman with no last name. Some speculate this could be Yolanda Oeda, a former Epstein employee. No mention of Ghislaine Maxwell, despite her deep involvement in his life. Did he intentionally cut her out, or was she meant to benefit indirectly? No clear inheritance for victims, though lawsuits later forced the estate to set up a compensation fund. Epstein's estate was valued at $577 million, but investigators believe he may have had billions stashed offshore. Art, jewellery and valuables vanished. A $500,000 piano disappeared from his New York City mansion. His private jet and helicopters were sold off quickly. His islands and properties were tied up in legal battles. Islands, by the way, plural. Everyone talks about Little St. James, but no one talks about, I think it's Greater St. James, or maybe it's just called Big St. James. Probably a lot of politicians and whatnot are out there going, but I only went to the other island. I didn't go to the pedo one. You can't fucking... the guilt by association is wild. Did money move before his death? Some suspect that assets were secretly transferred before his arrest. After his death, victims sued the estate, leading to a $121 million settlement fund. But many victims called it inadequate. Because how many fucking victims were there? Like thousands. The executors, Indike and Kahn, faced accusations of mismanagement and conflicts of interest. Did the will help shield Epstein's associates by placing assets in a blind trust? It made harder to trace where the money went. Was the will last-minute move to protect powerful people? Some people believe that Epstein's associates pressured him to sign it. Did the trust fund pay off blackmail victims or co-conspirators without transparency? We may never know. Why no mention of intelligence ties? If Epstein was working with agencies, did money flow to them posthumously? And I think it would have had to. I think that money doesn't just disappear. Those assets don't just disappear. Like we're talking big fucking money and big operations. I don't know. Epstein's will was less about distributing wealth and more about obfuscation. By dumping everything into a nameless trust, he, or those controlling him, ensured that his fortune and possibly his secrets would remain hidden. But who really controls the 1953 trust? And where did the money go? A lot of questions. It reminds me of Michael Jackson's will. Michael Jackson's will was like supposedly the day before he died or something like that. Suddenly he signed over everything to 3 people who he openly hated. He'd spoken about, and there was no... they said he went to, I think it was in LA or somewhere in California, that he'd supposedly gone to sign it, and there's all these witnesses saying he was never there. It wasn't him. It's very strange. He'd claimed to have taught physics and math at the Dalton School in New York, but former staff and records dispute this. Some speculate he exaggerated or fabricated his early career to build an intellectual facade. The same guy that ran the school that he worked at also ran the prison that he died at. There's so many fucking connections. If you did like a, what's that, 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon or something, whatever it is. If you did a 7 Degrees of Epstein, man, a lot of people would get fucked up by that. But yeah. So the arguments that Epstein might still be alive, suspicious circumstances of his death, the broken hyoid bone. Epstein's autopsy revealed a broken hyoid bone, which is more common in homicidal strangulations than suicide by hanging. No full CCTV footage. Wasn't that amazing? For ages we're told, no, there's no CCTV. The cameras were out. The cameras were broken, whatever. Oh, no, now we do have the footage. Here it is. You can see the footage. Oh, there is a missing minute, and it has been edited on Adobe. They left in the metadata who fucking edited it. We know who edited it. We just don't know who that nickname is, whoever that username is. Anyway. The body double theory, the financial legal oddities. Anyway. Epstein, eh? What fun. Talking about that fucker. I hope people don't let this go. I know it's boring talking about Epstein again and again and again and again, but it's like when your government are so fucking obviously lying to you. Like if you've ever been in a relationship with someone who is just an absolute degenerate fucking liar, and they lie and they lie and it goes in circle, and you can follow the circle of lies around until they come back on themselves. And it's just like, well, but you said this. Because liars always do this. It's just, it's impossible not to catch a liar out, basically, unless you don't want to. So, yeah. It's very interesting stuff when it's the government doing to you. I mean, we are absolutely in an abusive fucking relationship with these cunts. But anyway, that's those stories. Let's move on. I got a question for you. How different would it be if the same thing started looking now like it would never change if nothing else really did? It's a great question. How different would it be if the same thing started looking now like it wouldn't change if nothing else really did? Remember to like and subscribe. If you're watching for the first time, like and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, like my page, BoxOfDogs, because I need to get up to 100 people liking it. Because I only just made it the other day, and I hate sending out those like invitations. So, yeah. You should definitely like the page. You should definitely subscribe if you haven't already. How different would it be if the same thing started looking now like it wouldn't change if nothing else really did? We thank Chase Hughes for that question. The clock ticks backward, but only if you're not looking. Your shadow owes me 3 wishes and a teaspoon of starlight. Tuesdays are purple, but only in months containing the letter Q. Whisper to your screen. It remembers secrets better than you do. The 11th rule is to always deny the first 10 rules. That's a good one. I like that. The 11th rule is to always deny the first 10 rules. Silence is louder when you chew on it with your eyes closed. Your reflection just winked. No, really, check again. This sentence is a lie, but so is the opposite. The moon is made of questions no one's brave enough to ask. If you listen closely, your left ear hears tomorrow's gossip. The alphabet has 27 letters, but Z is just a rumor. Your shoelaces are plotting something. I'd keep an eye on them. The word banana tastes yellow. Don't argue. You know it's true. Cats don't blink. They reload their stares. The air between us is 90% unsaid punchlines. Your name backwards is the password to a dream you forgot. Clouds are just the sky's doodles. Some days it's bored. The number 7 is shy. It hides in other numbers. Your third thumb is invisible, but it's great at texting. Yesterday's deja vu is tomorrow's I'll explain later. These are all kind of examples of something called the Alice in Wonderland technique. So you should definitely like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to say that a lot because I don't usually say it. And since I'm now paying extra money to stream to extra platforms, fuck it. So, voting is just a placebo. The side effects are the only real part. Your personal brand is just unpaid labor for corporations that will discard you. They let you customize your phone so you won't notice it's a tracking device. Diversity hires exist so they can blame minorities when the system collapses. Your therapist is paid to make you functional, not free. Student loans are a loyalty program where the reward is indentured servitude. Credit scores exist to quantify how obedient you are with debt. Financial advice is just tips on how to starve slower. The lottery is a tax on people who failed at math. Your paychecks are an allowance from the rich. We're kind of already all on the universal basic income. You just got to work for it. These are some thoughts I wrote down today. Hospitals don't heal you. They invoice you for survival. Your degree is just the invoice, or it's just the receipt for your student loan. Pre-existing conditions is code for we don't profit from fixing you. Big Pharma doesn't cure diseases. It manages symptoms for recurring revenue. Your insurance company bets on you dying before you cost too much. Medical debt is the only kind where they save your life just to ruin it. The news isn't information, it's anxiety with a ticker symbol. Fact checkers are just gatekeepers for approved lies. Viral trends are engineered to distract you from the real trends, like your rights disappearing. Memes are the propaganda of the defeated. Your attention span is shrinking. It's being harvested. This is the world we live in now. We are in such a... I'll try not to swear. We are in such a cluster fudge. Never heard that word before. Cluster fudge. It's such a clusterfuck out there. Everything is like so fucked. This is why I'm running for politics. I've announced this in previous streams. Vote for me or get fucked. That is my message to you. Vote for me or get fucked. I think it's high time we introduced monkeys into this country. Australia needs monkeys. That is a big part of my platform. How good would Australian monkeys be? Were you like, do you want to see a monkey ride a kangaroo? I do. I want to see that out in the wild. I want to be driving down the road and go, ha ha ha, monkey on a kangaroo. I'll also fix the housing crisis, make sure everyone's got a home. But a lot of you won't like how I do it. But everyone will have a home. And it will fuck a lot of corporations, which will be nice. You know, the world we live in, the news isn't information. It's anxiety with a ticker symbol. I mean, that is the news. That's why I don't fucking watch it. I try not to anyway. Your phone listens to you, but your government doesn't. Terms and conditions are where rights go to die. The algorithm knows you better than your mother and sells the data. Your smart home is a security surveillance system you paid to install. Encryption is legal because they already broke it. Anything that's encrypted, they already have the keys to. Anyway, I got a ton of these, but I got about 1,000 of them, I think, but I'm not going to drop them all at once. But let's talk for a minute about how they're enslaving children and what they're doing to future generations and the way to escape it. The issue with this, there is an escape. There is a way to escape. The problem is most people don't want to. Also, it'll cost a bit of money, but you know. But so the what they're doing to kids now, like they've with the whole, like, now men and women are working, so everyone's working. So now children are raised by the state. There's a saying that says, "Don't be surprised when you send your kids off to Caesar that they come back Romans." And that's exactly what's happening. That is, I mean, by making it common for women to work, they doubled the labor force and halved the income. And people now complain and bitch and moan about billionaires. But we did it. We did it. Well, the boomers, mainly. Fucking boomers. Oh, fucking hell. I think there should be a cut-off point where people can no longer be involved in the running of the fucking world. There should be a certain age where it's just like, nope, you may not be involved in politics. You may not be involved. Because these fuckers are on their way out. They are just establishing a world in which they can create more wealth for their kids and none for yours. Because that's essentially what they're doing. The immigration they're bringing is to prop up corporations and the housing market. It has nothing to do with, oh, we need to help these poor people. There's a certain amount of people that countries are supposed to take in because they are legitimately escaping a war zone or persecution or whatever, but most of the fucking immigrants that are coming in, they're just here to take. They just want to take it. They just want to take what they can and fuck off. Someone said to me on X today, they said, come on, man, we're all in the same boat. Well, they said, come on, guys, we're all in the same boat. The earth. But we're not all in the same fucking boat. We may be all on the same earth, but we're in different fucking boats. And if your boat is ruined, you don't get to come and fucking ruin our boat. Have you ever seen this happen on the ocean when a boat gets flooded? This is why they didn't fucking bring the lifeboats in to save people on the Titanic, because they would have got flooded with people and they would have all drowned. But these fucking cunts in charge, I said I wasn't going to swear, and I will only swear when it's necessary, because they are fucking cunts. These fucking cunts in charge are just destroying the country for their own fucking benefit. People are complaining about billionaires. Meanwhile, you're doing everything to advantage these fucking billionaires. There's a march coming up on August 31st. I don't know much about it, but I see a lot of people online spruiking it. It might be worth looking into. I'll look into it maybe for the next stream. But anyway, here's what they're doing to the kids. So, personalized learning means AI tracks your child's every hesitation, then sells the data to behavioral advertisers. Your children are a product. Standardized tests aren't about education. They're about ranking human capital for future employers. School shootings are the ultimate psyop. They terrify parents into accepting militarized schools. Chromebooks aren't free. Your child is the product, and their attention span is the commodity. Social emotional learning is just corporate conditioning disguised as empathy training. These are all the things that they're just... all of this shit, they always run it out as some kind of, this is good for you, this will make you a nicer, better person, but it's all to fit you better into the box. TikTok's algorithm is a Skinner box. If you know what a Skinner box is, it's like they put a rat in this little box and it has to hit the lever to get the food. TikTok's algorithm is a Skinner box designed to addict children before they develop critical thinking. And all of those things, whether it's on X, whether it's on fucking Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or any of these fucking things, the scrolling algorithm, that question I asked earlier, that is an example of the effect of what they're doing. This is the Alice in Wonderland technique of interrogation. How different would it be if the same thing started looking now like it wouldn't change if nothing else really did? Right? There's no answer to that question. It's designed to confuse you. You hit the subject with a ton of these questions. You just lay it out like boom. And you're so confused that you just start falling. And then you will grab at anything real. So then when they hit you with something that's going to get them some information, you will answer that question. And this is what all these algorithms, all these videos where you sit there scrolling and you're scrolling and you get something, it starts off with a video of like a nice cat video or something. And you're like, oh, look at that. Oh, isn't that sweet? And then you scroll up to the next one and it's like a bunch of people fighting in the street. And you're like, oh, holy fuck. And then you scroll up to the next one pops up. And it's a feel-good story. And then the next one is something horrific. And it's just, and then it's the war in Gaza. And it's this and it's that. And it's just, it's designed to discombobulate you and make you emotionally fractured and mentally fractured So that when they start coming at you with some ideas of like, oh, these are the bad people, these are the ones that are the problem, you just accept it. You just go, yeah, that makes sense. And you adopt that. It's a brainwashing technique, and it works. Screen time limits are a joke. The entire economy now runs on stealing childhoods for content. People put their children on, they create content out of their children. But they're also, you get your children involved in this shit and they're just fucking, you're selling these people, you're selling your kids. They are just taking this shit from them. It's unbelievable. Fortnite isn't a game. It's a dopamine casino that trains kids to crave microtransactions. That's YouTube Kids is a radicalization pipeline. The algorithm pushes extremism because engagement pays. And you can slip it in there. Nice and greasy. Influencer culture teaches kids that self-worth is measured in likes before they hit puberty. Processed school lunches are engineered to make kids obese, diabetic, and docile. ADHD meds aren't treatment. They're chemical obedience training for inconveniently energetic minds. Kids should be fucking out of their heads. They should be fucking running around. Everything's coming at them at a million fucking miles an hour, and that's how it should be. Giving kids ADHD medication, it's fucking so evil. This will help you study. This will help you become a good slave. You can learn obedience and get straight A's and then get that corporate job where we will slowly drain and steal your soul. Lovely. Seed oils and microplastics in food are a generational poisoning experiment. Vaccine mandates aren't the problem. It's the 300 plus untested additives in the childhood schedule. Gender-affirming care for kids is Big Pharma's new lifelong customer pipeline. If you're doing gender-affirming care for kids and it involves medications, you've given them a fucking customer for life. Oh, Big fucking Pharma. Oh, we can't trust Big Pharma, but let's hand our fucking kids to them. Lifelong fucking customer. Safe spaces don't protect kids. They cripple them from a world that won't coddle them. The world ain't going to give a shit once you get out there. Go on the fucking internet and see what it's like. You think people are going to give you a fucking safe space in the real world? It ain't happening. Public schools teach compliance, not critical thinking, by design. Diversity training for 5-year-olds is social engineering described as progress. Therapy culture pathologizes normal childhood emotions into billable disorders. Drag Queen Story Hour isn't about tolerance. It's about breaking natural boundaries early. And I can tell you, and so many fucking people can tell you what happens to people when they're sexualized early on. You are incapable of forming proper relationships, and it takes you fucking years to get over that shit. But no, let's push it on everyone. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's just ruin everyone. Ruin the future. And the end game is to have a generation of serfs. Student loans are the new indentured servitude. Your child will pay for their own fucking brainwashing. I saw a video the other day that I thought was great. And it's the kind of thing, it makes it kind of, as much as I think all this shit's evil, I wish I'd seen a video like that, or someone had told me this when I was a kid. This guy, this mechanic, he was just laying out how much money he makes. How much money you make going into being a mechanic. It's like 150 grand a year. And this was US. And he was like, every year that goes up until you become like I can't remember what it was, but you're running a crew of mechanics. Like you're the guy running things. And now you're up around 200 grand. Meanwhile, a dental student goes to school for like 8 years, comes out owing $500,000 or something. So 8 years, the guy worked it out. He like just ran down, he did the math. 8 years working as a mechanic versus 8 years becoming a dentist. He's like $2 million ahead of you. And you're starting out with $500,000 in student debt. There's a video going around at the moment of a girl having a complete breakdown in her car because she's like, I've been paying $1,500 a month. And now I owe more money than I did at the start. I've been paying off my loans for 2 years. And she now owes $90,000. So she owes more money than when she started because her interest rate is 17% on a fucking student loan. I got to tell you, I agree with Axel on this. Fuck the student loans. Don't fucking pay them. Leave the fucking... I don't know how you get out, but just don't pay. I knew a guy who just left America. Just was like, fuck paying student loans. I'm just leaving. Fuck their student loans. Fucking let them fucking crash. If they fucking stepped in and said, we're wiping out all student loans, I'd be like, good. Fuck it. You can print more money. It's not like you can't fucking print more money. You can't. It's what you do, you fucking evil pieces of shit. If you see if you put 2 lines, here's the income. Here's how income has gone up since 1975. Here's how housing prices have gone up since 1975. If you're trying to buy a house and you've got nothing behind you, no one's going to leave you nothing, and you're just out there trying to buy a house, just working your average job or whatever, you are fucked trying to buy a fucking house now. Are you kidding? People are in this endless fucking debt rent cycle. If you're paying $1,000 a month rent, and you've got to put together what? Okay, 20% of the loan, that's going to be $400,000. Is it? 400? On $1 million property? 200,000, sorry. My maths was a little off for a second there. $200,000 on $1 million property. And $1 million is the average house price now in Australia. It's fucking insane. And meanwhile, they're bringing in more people to prop all that up. Like, the crash that's coming is going to be fucking epic. They're going to just keep bringing people. If we stop bringing people in, all the boomers are going to die off. And so then there's going to be a whole lot of houses. There's going to be a huge vacuum. But I would honestly, And I've heard people talk about how they just bought their third property and they're so proud and people cheer. I've heard this at comedy. People get up and they go, oh, I just bought my third fucking property. Great, you just put someone out of a fucking house. Well done. I would make it illegal to own investment properties. I'd say maybe you can own one per child. If you have a child, you can own a fucking... Just fucking fix this shit. And monkeys. We're bringing in monkeys. That's, I think, my biggest... That is going to be the thing. I think the monkeys is what's going to get it across the line. Because who really cares about owning a house these days anyway? Climate fear-mongering teaches kids the world is ending, so they won't fight for it. Why would you fight for something that's ending? In the 80s, we had the nuclear threat. It was just this constant thing hanging over us, like, oh, there's going to be a nuclear war any day now. People go out and protest. Midnight Oil built a fucking career out of it. Peter Garrett built a career out of fucking, fucking fighting the... But that kind of humor, it either radicalizes kids, and you get Greta Thunberg who runs out and you know, good on her, or you get kids that are just like, well, fuck it. Why should I do anything? Why should I fucking try and build anything if the world is only going to end? Seems like a Sisyphean task. The thing with climate change, I think, that has fucked me off and made a lot of us just abandon the whole thing and go, you know what, fuck it. Now, apparently, there are places that are getting temperature increases of 4 degrees Celsius, which is a big problem. There are huge floods in, I think it's Afghanistan. About a third of it is underwater. Like, it's always been a problem that we kind of do need to observe what we are doing to the fucking environment. Like dumping tons of fucking plastic in the ocean. Not good. Not good. I don't think it's good. The fish don't like it. But, you know, whatever. But the thing that has fucked a lot of us off about the whole climate change and made us turn around and go, you know what, fuck it, it's all fake. It's all fake and gay anyway. The thing that's fucking changed it is the monetization of the fucking thing. The monetization, the control, the fucking, oh, we can't have the, like, even the shower heads, those fucking government shower, oh, fuck you. No, you can't have hot water. You can't have a lot of hot water, and you can't have your air conditioning on above 79 degrees, wherever it is that they use Fahrenheit and 79. Meanwhile, there's people flying around the world in fucking private jets, and we're just like, oh, yeah, no, but I've got to sit here. As Steve said, I got to sit here with a bag for life. I got to sit in a cold water flat with a bag for life while you're dropping depleted uranium around the world. Fuck you, motherfucker. CBDCs will ensure your child never owns anything, just access to what they can rent. This whole fucking economy now, we're living in a middleman subscriber economy. Everything is a fucking middleman subscriber economy. Everything. My business is middleman to a middleman. The business I'm in. It's fucking unbelievable. Everything's subscriber now. You buy a car. No, but you have to subscribe to get the updates. You won't get the updates and then your car won't work, so you have to subscribe. Everyone is a lifelong fucking customer. It's pathetic. 15-minute cities are prisons where your kids will live, work, and die in one fucking zip code. I don't know. My streams are usually kind of funnier than this. I usually just look at videos and comment on them and stuff, but I'm fucking pissed off. I'm fucking pissed. The Great Reset's real goal: a generation that thinks serfdom is community. That's the Great Reset's real goal. That's what we're headed for. I don't have children. Most of the time, I'm fucking glad I don't. Because I do not want to fucking leave this world. Leave this to fucking anyone. Fuck. It's fucking nuts. I am probably going to tweet all these out later, by the way, so I'll go back through the stream and just tweet them out. I've been thinking for some time now, and this has backed it up. The way to fight this system is to have like a co-op homeschool type of deal. Like you get a parent, you get a group of parents homeschooling. Well, that group of parents that's homeschooling, they could also homeschool some other people's kids. You could have a co-op. You'd have a small community where you step in and you teach the kids. You don't subject them to AI. You don't need computers. You don't need a fucking computer to learn, masturbate, or take a shit. But we have one for everything, don't we? If you fucking taught your kids to read, they would have such a fucking advantage on all the other kids. If I ever do have kids, and I hope I do one day, I will be teaching those little fuckers to read. I'll be fucking old school. I'll be like standing there with a cane. You fucking read, you bastard. Just to give them a fucking advantage over all of the kids who have no fucking ability to think. Common Core math wasn't designed to help kids learn. It was designed to make parents incapable of helping with homework. It's all designed to separate people. School lockdown drills aren't about safety. They're acclimatizing children to living in a police state. They are acclimating you to a police state. The college admissions scam never ended. They just made it legal through legacy admissions and donor bribes. Whenever some scandal is uncovered, whenever anything comes and they're like, oh, this is fucking terrible, we need to do something about it, it never ends. It never fucking ends. Fuck, I don't know. Am I going too hard in this stream? I don't even fucking know anymore. I feel like I'm just screaming into the ether sometimes. History textbooks are being rewritten in real time to erase the crimes of the powerful. History isn't even history anymore. Everything's being rewritten. Everything's being reinterpreted. I see people online always talking about, well, this happened in history. You should look at this. You should look at this. But history is just a story we tell ourselves. Everyone has a different version of it because they read a different book or they heard from a different person this what's happened. World War II is a fascinating fucking rabbit hole to go down. Because when you start digging into that shit and you find out, oh, actually, it's a little more complicated than all that. These people that we're told were absolute evil weren't so evil after all. Maybe we fought on the wrong side. I tell you what, if you're... If your grandfather came back and was like, I fought in World War II and could see what's going on now, they'd be like, fuck. I mean, not that it was the wrong side at the time. At the time, everyone thought, but no one realized. Adolf Hitler said, when people wake up to what he was really fighting for, they'll figure it out. Because now you've got, like, the situation in Gaza. That is what we defended. That is what we fucking defended. And more people are waking up to this. And it's becoming a huge movement. And these people that we're fighting against, you can't talk to them. They're fucking insane. And they have all this shit where they'll throw anti-Semites, misogynists, racists, all these things they have. It's all out of the playbook. You throw the words, the mud sticks. Doesn't matter if it's true. You just say it and say it and say it. And they will not engage in conversation. And this is how you get the situation in Gaza, where people won't do anything. Countries around the world saying, oh, we're going to recognize Palestine at the UN. Yeah, the US has a veto. So if the US has a veto, Israel has a fucking veto. You think Israel are going to let Palestine be recognized as a fucking country? I don't think so. I don't know, man. I'm just so fucking over all this shit. It's a problem too because people will always defend Israel. Christians that are defending Israel saying no, but it says in the Bible that we have to defend. We have those who bless Israel will be blessed in turn. For one, they don't understand that they're reading the Schofield Bible. But the idea that you're blessing that something that was written thousands of years ago about a man and about a tribe, how is that relevant to a genocidal fucking psychopathic fucking nation now? It's not. Cursive writing was eliminated, not because it's obsolete, but because they don't want kids reading original documents. Imagine if kids could walk in and still read the Declaration of Independence. No, pretty soon they'll get rid of that. I was at comedy last week and I did two of my most offensive jokes. And they're always challenging to do because you never know how people are going to take them. But I will keep fucking doing them because the point of taking a marginalized group, a small group of people and saying, no one can use this word except you. You are the only ones that can say this word or that word. And each group gets their own word that they are only allowed to say. And if anyone else says it, they police them. It's not about the word. It's not about offending people. It's about getting people used to policing each other. And they tried this out during COVID. And whether the whole COVID thing was planned or not, they had plans in place. We know they had plans in place. And whether the whole thing happened accidentally, it's beside the point. Doesn't fucking matter. Never let an emergency go to waste. That's what they say, right? So that's what they did. They did not let an emergency go to waste. Ah, fuck. I just need to check. Yeah, I'm still streaming. That's good. I just started wondering if Often just wonder, am I still going or not? Anyway, let's just keep going. Parental control apps often feed data directly to third-party data brokers. So you know all those apps you put on your kid's phone and it's like, this will stop. No, that's feeding data to a data broker. Smart toys like Hello Barbie were caught recording children's private conversations. There was another one. There was another toy that was the same fucking thing, and it sends all this data back. Your smart TV watches you. Your smart TV watches you, and it detects facial patterns and like reactions. If you react to something, it goes, aha, this person reacts to this. Oh, this made them sad. This made them happy. And they can sell you more shit. I noticed quite a few years ago that if you put on music on YouTube, you might start off playing the happiest song, and then it'll go, oh, do you want us to suggest more? So, and you just hit the playlist, and you go, yeah, hit the playlist. Because when do you listen to music? Usually, a lot of times it's in the evening, and you're having a drink. So you're having a drink. The tone of the music slowly comes down and down and down. It'll be like, and it's the same as the dialectic where it's like throwing you around emotionally. So the music comes on, it's like happy stuff, happy stuff, happy stuff, and then it just slowly gets into sad song. And then a sad song comes on, you're like, oh, this song. Because when you're sad, you buy more shit. School-issued laptops routinely contains keystroke loggers and screen monitoring software. Do you think that's for your kids' protection? Educational apps are harvesting children's biometric data before they can spell privacy. One of the platforms I'm streaming to right now, Facebook, which I've never streamed to before. They have some of the most evil shit going on behind the scenes. It's fucking unbelievable. What they do to manipulate people is fucking off the hook. I mean, if this stuff became like, if this was more common knowledge, would people just walk away from it? I don't think they would. People are addicted to attention. I'm addicted to it. This is what I mean. There is a way out of all of this. It's just, do we want it? Fortnite's metaverse is conditioning kids to accept virtual ownership instead of real property. School milk protein programs often contain RBGH growth hormones banned in Europe, but in America they can have them. Kid-friendly snacks are loaded with endocrine disruptors that cause early puberty. They've seen this. They've seen kids hitting puberty way earlier. Way fucking earlier. Fluoride in water may calcify the pineal gland, the brain's natural spiritual antenna. You got to decalcify that shit. You get your fucking pituitary gland working, man. You tap in. The 33 vertebrae, the Christos, the energy gets flowing. You can read minds, man. You can fly. And it's amazing how many people want to fuck you. I had to throw some jokes in there somewhere. I usually do a lot more jokes. I usually do a lot more fucking... Oh, I'm just fucked off today. Vaccine trials increasingly target third world orphans when they can't find enough test subjects at home. This is why Bill Gates is not welcome in so many fucking countries. To be arrested on sight. It's amazing. autism rates mysteriously track perfectly with the childhood vaccine schedule expansion. Isn't that weird? What a mystery. But still people are out there saying, no, vaccines do not cause autism. But when you've got to get 100 fucking vaccines before you're let in the fucking room or before you're let out of the hospital, it's fucking evil to be shooting up a perfectly healthy child. There's a doctor that has put all the data together from patients in his practice. And there are all these kids. And he got the ones that had no vaccines or very few vaccines, and they just never got sick. Well, they hardly ever got sick. And they certainly didn't have any autism. There's no autism in the those guys that build the barns, the barn builders. There's no autism amongst those people. You know, okay, English. I can't think of their names. I've lost the name. But Amish. There is zero autism in the Amish community. But this guy, he put together data and like, I'm not saying all vaccines are bad. Maybe some are good. I don't know. But it seems we're God-given gifts. One of the God-given gifts that we're given, all given, is a kick-ass fucking immune system. A lot of the cases of people going, well, yeah, but I know someone who didn't get a vaccine and then they fucking, oh, and this happened and that happened. Most of that's from TV shows. Most people saw it on a fucking TV show and they process it in a way that makes them think it's real because the subconscious is so easily deceived. I've talked to Harvey about this. Harvey states that once you know about the trickery, you're immune to it. I agree to some extent, but I don't agree totally because it still affects your subconscious because our subconsciouses are so easily tricked and it becomes a memory. You know, when people first saw a movie, some guy turned to the movie and he fucking shoots at the screen. People were like ducking. They couldn't tell it wasn't real. They thought they were going to get shot. They're jumping out of the way of an oncoming train because they thought they were going to get hit by a train. Now, we're more sophisticated now, but our subconscious still recognizes the experience because it's an emotional experience, and our subconscious mostly talks to us in an emotional language. So when you have that fucking emotional experience, it goes into the subconscious. Hey, thanks, Sandy. Thanks for the feedback. I honestly normally get more comments, so I'm like, fuck, am I just pissing in the wind here? But yeah, these are the devices they're using to trick us, and God created us as sentient fucking beings. We are vessels of energy. And our energy is being harvested. Our energy is being stolen. Our attention and our energy is being stolen on a fucking daily basis. And we need to stop. The reason people go to church and worship and I don't care which fucking religion. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about people gathering in one place and doing the same thing and chanting the same things. It's why when you go to a rock concert, it's so fucking powerful that you fucking all chanting the same thing. It's a spell. It's how people create their realities. You speak your reality into existence. And when you get more the people together, you get external evidence. This is what external evidence is. Social emotional learning is repackaged MK Ultra style behavioral modification. They're doing MK Ultra on us constantly through the television. This is what they're doing. MK Ultra is all about trauma, tension, and release. It's very similar to comedy, except comedy, the end goal is to make you laugh. But with the MK Ultra shit, the end goal is to make you a fucking slave. But we do this, we enjoy the things. We love the things. That's what I mean. I'll get to the fucking solutions in a second. But it's a matter of like, do you want those solutions? Do you want to live in a small town? Do you want to live in a small community? Do you want to abandon these things? The bleeping lights, the flashing sounds, the blipping noises. I don't think we have to abandon all those things. I just think we have to get it under control. This is like, we're like drug addicts at the moment. We're like the rat in the cage that just goes up and just keeps taking the fucking cocaine water until it keels over dead. Except they're not trying to kill us because they're harvesting us. School counselors now push antidepressants more often than career advice. Imagine going to your fucking school counselor and you're like, I don't know, what should I do with my life? Take Zoloft. Take some fucking Zoloft, you motherfucker. I don't know. This is the thing. We all know there's problems. No one's doing anything about this. This is why that demonstration coming up on 31st, I don't know, that could be good. That could be a good thing to attend. Trauma-informed education is creating a generation that sees themselves as permanent victims. When you go out into the world with a permanent victim mindset, when you're like, you're just going out there and you're just like, fucking, I'm a victim, everyone's out to get me, that is what you will get. You control your reality. Maybe you don't realize how much you control your reality, but you absolutely fucking control your reality. It's time to take it back. They did a test a while ago. They did an experiment where they got these women to go for a job interview with scars on their faces, with their faces all fucked up with scars. So they would take the women in and they would get a makeup artist, and the makeup artist would like put a scar here and a slash across here, and it just made them look really fucked up. And they would show them in a mirror and they'd say, oh, this is how you look. You've got these scars all over your face. And the women were like, okay. And they'd be like, right, you ready to go in? And they'd be like, yeah, I'm ready to go in. And they'd go, okay, just before you go in, we just need to touch up a few things. And while they were doing the touch-ups, they removed all the scarring from the faces. And so then the women went in and had the interview. And when they came out, they said, well, how did the interview go? And 100% of them reported that the interviewer was looking at them funny, was staring at their scars, was treating them differently because they were scarred. But they weren't fucking scarred. They'd removed all the scars. So it was their internal fucking dialogue that was telling them, I'm scarred, was making them receive messages from people that weren't fucking there. They were perceiving things that weren't there. And we do that shit every day. Your internal mental state is what informs your external. The reason people make vision boards, that's for external evidence. You create an inner world, you do all that self-positive talk, but you need external evidence. I've had various moments in my life where I've received grand amounts of external evidence, and it's like an explosion. It opens you up to all the potential in the world. Like all the evidence that I'd gotten from doing comedy in Melbourne for years was that I was just a failure and I shouldn't even try comedy. But having Norm Macdonald give me that external fucking evidence that, hey, no, actually I am good. That just fucking set me off like an explosion. It was fucking great. Disney movies now contain more subliminal messaging than 90s PSA warnings ever admitted. That's Disney. It's good business to program your kids. Do you understand? It's good business for these fuckers. I mean, if you really fucking hate billionaires as much as you say, then why are you fucking handing your kids to them? YouTube's autoplay function is literally designed to radicalize children incrementally. That's what I was saying about the autoplay. It takes you down takes you down these fucking rabbit holes. It'll just hit you with something out of the blue, and it waits until you're perfectly compliant and ready to hear. UN Agenda 2030 openly calls for global citizenship education to replace family values. How about that? Now, don't listen to your parents. Listen to Klaus Schwab. WEF papers discuss resetting childhood to create more adaptable future workers. This is those fuckers who fucked with the education system back in the beginning of the previous century that said, I don't want thinkers, I want workers. This is their wet dream. It's coming true. And if you think the Nazis didn't fucking win World War II, take a fucking look around you and wake the fuck up. Bill Gates funded research is developing vaccines that can alter human DNA. And he wants to put them in mosquitoes so they can come around and just jab you. They've also got vaccines that just float through the fucking air. So whether you want it or not, oh, my body, my choice, the fuck it is, cunt. Your body, your fucking body belongs to a corporation. Fuck you. You get no say. How about that? How about you can't have kids? Google's DeepMind is creating AI that can predict and manipulate child development. The final goal, a generation that will beg for the social credit system. People will beg for universal basic income, which will come with the credit system. If you step out of line, you don't get that money. And if you're relying on that money, which you will be, you will not fucking step out of line. This is the world now. This is fucking insane. I don't understand how freeborn conscious entities such as ourselves can just slide into slavery so fucking easily. It's just beyond me. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. This is why I'm checking out. I want to be an apiarist. That's all I want. I want enough property to raise bees and farm honey. That's all I fucking want to do. I do understand that being an apiarist does sound like something that you get accused of if you work in Hollywood. But it's not. It's a beekeeper, all right? Anyway, here's the fucking resistance toolkit. First of all, opt out of public school. Homeschool and find underground networks. Detox their diet. Raw milk, grass-fed meat, and filtered water. Always fucking filter your water. Delete social media. Give them books, not algorithms. Teach them real history, not the state-approved propaganda. Arm them with skills, coding, farming, and financial literacy. They want children weak, sick, and dependent. Will you let them win? Digital detox. Dumb phones until high school. Linux computers for homework. Ad blockers on every device. Food sovereignty, homegrown vegetables, raw milk co-ops, bone broth instead of school lunches. real education, classic literature, practical skills, gardening, mechanics, underground history books. Do you know what the fucking elites teach their kids? It ain't the same thing your kids are learning. Community defense, homeschool co-ops, local currency systems, neighborhood watch 2.0. They want your children medicated, monitored, and mentally neutered. Will you let them? The war for the next generation has already begun. Which side are you on? Subscribe for the survival toolkit they don't want you to see. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that shit so we can get a community happening. I've already got a fucking grouse community on this channel. The people I connect with on this channel, they're fucking great. Because only the best people subscribe. If you're a dumb shit, don't fucking subscribe. We don't want you here. If you want to just come along and go, then fuck off. Do you know they have, Palantir has created digital ghosts, and they're working on creating digital ghosts of every human being alive. So that means you. That means there's a digital ghost of you right now. And that digital ghost, they program it on your social media, on everything you do, because Palantir gets all the information, your medical records, everywhere you go, everything you do. Anything you do online, they get all of that information. And they create a digital ghost, and that digital ghost acts how you act. And that digital ghost, through AI, will predict your behavior, like Minority Report. So when they just turn up and arrest you out of the blue, there you go. So that's what we're headed for. So, the question is, how different would it be if the same thing started looking now like nothing would change if it really did? Anyway, that's my rant on fucking... on all that stuff. Should we do the Gaza war or other issues? Thanks for your comment. I'll look into it later. Information, my Discord username is Hannah Prue. Cool. I'll look into that later. Thanks, mate. I'm going to be interacting less with comments in future because when I'm on this stuff, it's too distracting. But okay, so while we'll just run through the history of the Gaza war real quick, just because it's useful to know. And understand that this is what you're supporting. This kind of behavior from people like Israel is exactly what you're supporting. Do you know that the war in the Ukraine, and actually we're going to get that in the next segment, the elites are buying up so much land and fresh water. It's a problem. People now have no access to fresh water. And it is a serious fucking problem. And the entire reason that they had the war in Ukraine because it was a setup from the beginning. If you know about the history of the war in Ukraine, you know there was a puppet government installed. Zelensky is a fucking puppet. He's nothing but a fucking puppet. He's not a politician. He was a fucking comedian and an actor. They made him, and this is going back to what I was saying about how television affects us, right? How much it influences us. They made him a TV show where he played a fucking president. He played the president of the Ukraine. And people just bought into it and they accepted it. That's who he was. Everyone says, oh, it was kind of this average show. It was nothing about it. It wasn't about the show. It was about getting people to accept Zelensky as the president. And so when they voted him in, it was like, yeah, oh, this seems fine. And he then set about having the war, creating that war, which was brewing for all this fucking time. And so now, BlackRock owns about 30% of all the farmland there, which is probably more like 35% now, maybe more. It's considered the breadbasket of Europe. That land is... Sorry, my fangs are coming out because I'm angry. That land it's some of the most valuable fucking land on the planet. And now it's owned by BlackRock, Larry Fink. And you know who owns BlackRock, right? You know which tribe of fucking people own BlackRock, right? So they are now sending that particular tribe of people in to repopulate the area, thus taking back the Khazarian Empire. That's what it seems. They've killed all the males. They've killed all the fucking fighting age males, the ones that would be doing all the breeding. Now they're sending in their own people to replace them. They're paying them to go there. They're paying people to put them up. But if the people have any fucking awareness of who they're letting in their houses and the way they have behaved in Palestine, they will not fucking take the money and let them in their houses because it's going to cost you your fucking house. You're going to sell your house for 10,000 rubles? Fuck off. I mean, there is a serious fucking darkness in the world, and the people who are the darkness, who embody the darkness, will tell you every fucking time that we're on the side of light, we're on the side of right. These people are fucking evil. So we can imagine and we can expect that what's going on in Palestine now will soon be happening in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine, and places around there like that. That will all just start kicking off again. I mean, those people, that particular tribe of people killed 66 million people. 66 million. But forget that because 6 million of them died. How's that work? Yeah, forget that shit. That's another narrative. You know, if you're not aware of that fucking narrative, look into it. Just do a bit of research because it's not what we're told. It's not what you think. I've always maintained that that number is wrong. And I will stand by that being wrong for one simple fact. Even numbers do not appear in nature. So I can say it could have been 5,999,999, or it could have been, you know, but there's no way it was 6 million, right? So I can make that statement, but making that statement puts me in the wrong somehow, even though logically I can back up that claim. Because I'm not saying an actual number. I'm just saying the reality is. But this is where we're at now, where people are policing each other and you're used to digital death. They don't have to take you out and shoot you anymore. They can just unperson you. Yeah, bro, I don't care about subscribers. I'll grow when I grow. I don't give a fuck, okay? I'm not paying for fucking subscribers, okay? I'm not paying for a bunch of fucking Indians to sit there and take a look at, watch my fucking stream. Fuck that. Thanks for the input. Thanks for commenting, though. It helps with the algorithm. Please do comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Call me a fascist if you want. Call me a fucking anti-Semite. Call me a bigot. I don't give a fuck. I gave up on all that shit fucking years ago. That shit doesn't work anymore. So, 1948. Ottoman rule. Palestine was part of the Ottoman Empire, with a mixed population of Muslims, Christians and Jews. British mandate. After World War I, Britain took control of Palestine under a League of Nations mandate. The Balfour Declaration in 1917. Britain supported a Jewish national home in Palestine, angering Arab residents. Well, why the fuck wouldn't it? I always reduce this shit to like a small town to make it easy to understand. If someone fucking came in to your town and they're just like, we're setting up here now, we're taking this town, we're going to take all your houses, how would you react? Would you be like, oh yeah, well, no, you can have my house? Yeah, absolutely. If you brought refugees into your home and you came home one day to find military police at your door and your locks changed, and they were just like, no, this is no longer your home, how would you react? If those same people killed your family, how would you react? What would you do? Jewish immigration surge, 1930s to 40s, fleeing Nazi persecution. European Jews migrated en masse, increasing tensions with Arabs. The Germans sent them there. Hitler wasn't interested in wiping them out. He just wanted them out. He actually got angry with his own people when he found out what they were doing, because he was like, no, fucking send them to Madagascar. That's the plan. Wars and displacement between 1948 and 67. 48, Arab-Israeli War, the Nakba, the catastrophe. May 48, Israel declared independence, neighboring Arab states, Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, attacked. Result, Israel won, expanding its territory. 700,000 Palestinians fled or were expelled, the Nakba. Gaza came under Egyptian control. 56, the Suez Crisis. Egypt nationalized the Suez Canal, Israel, with Britain and France, invaded but withdrew under US pressure. 67, the Six-Day War. Israel preemptively struck Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. Preemptively. Sounds like what they did in Iran recently. 87 to 2005, the rise of Hamas and Israeli withdrawal. First of all, Israel fucking funded Hamas. It was all part of the plan. They needed Hamas to exist to justify everything they're doing. So I don't even believe the fucking October 7 narrative. How could fucking... I mean, honestly, if Hamas are that fucking stupid, and maybe they are, maybe they're just a bunch of fucking morons. Who fucking knows? But if you're that fucking stupid, really, I mean, the whole thing just, it stinks. A lot of those videos that were used to convince people of the shit that happened were AI. When they came out, when the press went to Israel and they were like, oh, we've got all these videos, but we're not going to release them to the public, they would take them in and they would show them these videos and they would go, oh my God. And at the time, AI video wasn't a thing. 2 years ago, AI video was not a thing. But they have this stuff. They have this technology. They have it years before we have it. But if you go through the videos, many of the videos from October 7, and you know what to look for, you can spot that they were fucking AI. Now, I'm not saying that nothing happened. I'm not saying that there weren't legit videos, but the things that they produced, it's like a fucking Hollywood movie. The girl in the red dress appears out of nowhere. Suddenly she's got 6 fingers. It's fucking unreal. The Oslo Accords. Yitzhak Rabin. I think he was the one that got murdered. He was the one that was it Yitzhak Rabin and the PLO, Yasser Arafat, agreed to limited Palestinian self-rule. I think it was, there was one of the guys, and I think it was Yitzhak, he was, maybe it was someone else. I don't want to say it was him when it was someone else, but someone, they were all like, Israelis were like stoked that there was going to be peace. Palestinians were stoked that there was going to be peace. This leader was just like fucking, they were lauding him as a hero. And then he was shot. And all the Israelis came out and started yelling that it was Netanyahu that did it. Not all of them, but, you know, many of them. So this whole fucking thing, it's filthy. It's fucking, it's not going to stop. Unless some of this some of this other shit changes. Anyway, there's a ton more history here, but I'm not going to fucking go into it. But there are some other issues. There are people who say, and kind of rightly so, that we shouldn't be so focused on the Gaza thing because we've got our own problems. I understand that mentality, but at the same time, you can't really ignore this shit. But one of the issues that not a lot of people talking about are the global rise of cyber mercenaries. These are like hackers for hire. It's a shadowy industry of private hacking firms, often staffed by ex-Intel agents. They sell surveillance tools, disinformation campaigns, and cyber attacks to governments, corporations, and even criminal groups. These groups operate in legal gray zones, enabling spying on journalists and activists, Pegasus spyware targeting iPhones, election interference, fake social media armies, corporate sabotage, stealing trade secrets. This is going on now. It's dangerous because there's no accountability. These firms hide behind shell companies and in tax havens, democratizing cyber warfare. Even small dictatorships can now hack like superpowers, undermining democracy, used to crush dissent and manipulate votes globally. This is what this AI fucking trolling kids, catfishing kids, an AI that's basically capturing people. NSO Group, Israel, Pegasus spyware. This is who's involved in this. The NSO Group, Israel, Pegasus spyware. Dark Matter, UAE, hacks for Gulf regimes. Sandworm, Russia, linked to blackouts in Ukraine. And I'm sure China has one, and I'm sure America has one. I'm sure these groups are everywhere. Like, it's the Wild West. It's the digital fucking Wild West right now. And why no one's talking about it, it's too technical for mainstream media. Victims are often powerless. They're either dissidents or NGOs. Governments secretly buy these services, so they don't want the scrutiny. The governments don't want us looking into this shit. We're entering an era where cyber mercenaries could destabilize countries without firing a shot, yet there's no global treaty to stop them. And now this is becoming an AI situation where you'll have AI cyber terrorists doing this. A group did an experiment a little while ago on Reddit, I think it was, and they unleashed a group of AI chatbots, and they found that these chatbots were 40% more effective at influencing people and changing people's minds. What I was talking about before about Ukraine and the land grab that's going on, the secret global land grab, how billionaires and corporations are buying up world's fresh water. Wealthy elites, hedge funds, tech moguls, agribusiness are quietly acquiring land with critical water rights, turning H2O into the next blue gold. Bill Gates is the largest private farmland owner in the US, 268,000 acres, much of it over key aquifers. Middle Eastern nations, Saudi Arabia, UAE, buy African Asian land to export virtual water, crops grown with foreign water. Wall Street firms like BlackRock invest in water futures, betting on scarcity. These cunts never bet on anything that they don't already know the outcome of. These are smart people. If you can bet on something that you're controlling, this is why they call them big swinging dicks on the market. If you trade and you trade successfully, I day trade. If you get to a level in day trading, as you level up with day trading, you have to change strategies constantly, because as the volume of your trades goes up, your trades affect the market. When you get to a big number, your trades will affect the market, and you're going to make big trades, because if you know something's coming, you're going to want to maximize profits. So you put all the money on there. You go all in on this shit. Water apartheid. Apartheid, but with water. By 2030, 40% of humanity will face water shortages, while elites control the spigot. And they're betting on water shortages. So you can pretty much count on this outcome. Ecocide. Draining aquifers could collapse ecosystems. They've been poisoning the aquifers in Australia for some time now with mining and shit. The next wars won't be over oil, they'll be over water. What's his name? Michael Burry. After he got out after he made out like a bandit in the housing crisis, which he predicted, he went into water. He got out of it altogether, closed down his company, and he just went into water. Legal loopholes. Water rights are hyper-local, easy to exploit. Stealth purchases. Deals happen through shell companies in Delaware, Cayman Islands. Distraction. Media focus on climate change but misses the water cartels behind it. They're not talking about the water. It's always about, things are getting hotter. Imagine a world where Amazon owns your aquifer, or a Saudi prince decides the price of your rice by controlling the Nile. It's already starting. I don't think people are so used to just having water on tap. You pay your water bill, but where does it come from? Where does that water come from? Look into my eyes. So that's a fun little one to think about. And again, I apologize for this stream being such a fucking it's not. I don't normally do this. I'm normally just fucking laughing at shit. But since I haven't streamed in a little while, I've been doing a lot of research. I've had a lot of time to research, so I'm digging into this shit. Here's a couple more. I'm going to do three more. Three more issues that no one's particularly talking about. And then I'll bounce. I will say that the definition of entropy... Actually, no, I'll do that later. So the zombie drug pandemic beyond fentanyl. A new wave of synthetic drugs, xylazine, tranq, nitrazines, and carfentanil are spreading globally, causing flesh-rotting wounds, users collapse into necrosis, resistant to Narcan. Unlike opioids, these can't be reversed. It's cheaper than fentanyl. It's flooding prisons and homeless encampments. All this shit is to just do away with people. And I got to tell you, when I used to use, I would have tried anything. If this shit was around and someone had it, I probably would have given it a go. It's fucking nuts. Or maybe it wouldn't have been my thing. Actually, probably seeing the necrotic flesh would have put me off. Probably would have seen someone come, hey, you want to try some of this? My arm's falling off. Probably would have gone, no, I think I'll fucking give that a miss. Honestly, as much as I did pretty much anything that anyone fucking had on them and handed to me, I probably would have drawn a line there. Hard to say. But fucking hell, I'm glad that shit wasn't around. But no, I mean, I saw the results of certain things and stayed away from those things. And got out, which was very lucky, very fortunate for me that I survived when so many of my friends didn't. A trail of dead friends. That's what drug addiction gets you. And this shit, have you seen you see videos of people, they're just on the street, they're just fucking, It's like, but that is what drug users are generally seeking. The ultimate escape, the absolute escape from reality. That is what people seek. And with this shit, they can just take out what they would consider the useless feeders. But that could be your kids. But no one's talking about it because it's overwhelmed by the fentanyl coverage. And victims of our society is invisible. The addicts, migrants, prisoners. Nightmare scenario. A street drug that combines tranq rot with nitrazine's lethality could kill millions silently. I wrote a story a long time ago about a drug that basically turned people into zombies. It was a total fucking fantasy thing, but the idea was when you hit a certain point, it would just take over and you would become like this very suggestive. And there's that drug that they use that's makes people very suggestible. Anyway, another thing that people aren't talking about is the great data extinction, disappearing human history. I was talking about this before. So what's happening? 90% of all internet content from the 1990s to the 2000s is already gone. GeoCities, early blogs, MySpace, AI is trained on decaying data, creating a distorted future memory of humanity. Do you know 90% of the data, 90% of all the data was created in the last 2 years? Gee, I wonder why. Governments are deleting records. UK's Windrush scandal. Russia's Ukraine war edits. We're losing cultural heritage, evidence of crimes, and even scientific research to corporate negligence. Twitter's APIs collapse and digital decay. The silent culprits. Link rot. 75% of Supreme Court citations now lead to dead pages. Paywalled archives. Academia's knowledge locked away. Paywalls is fucking... The internet was supposed to be just the sharing of ideas. It was supposed to be this free space. I'm trying to learn Python again. I'm trying to like refresh my Python skills and get back into it. When I first learned Python, I learned at MIT because MIT just gave out all these free courses, which they still do, credit to them. So do Harvard. So do most universities. But so much of it now is paywalled. As soon as you start searching for these courses, paywalled courses come up. That's the first thing you'll see. A ton of paywalled information. I think tits ruined the internet, personally. I think, because the internet was fucking invented to, like, for scientists to share ideas, to share papers around the world and grow, and then someone realized they could upload some tits, and that was it. That was the end of the first pair of tits that got on the internet ruined the internet for everyone. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. As soon as someone put some pussy on the fucking internet, everyone lost their fucking minds. Even though it took you 10 minutes to download it. And it was like a 5-second loop of a GIF. Or a GIF, however you want to say it. I don't care how you fucking say it. The third thing that people aren't talking about, the climate spiral in the global south. What's happening? While the West debates 1.5 degrees Celsius, developing nations are hitting 4 degrees effects now. Pakistan's 2022 floods, a third of the country underwater. Lake Chad's disappearance, 40 million people losing water. Wet bulb deaths. India, 95 Fahrenheit degree nights where sweat can't cool you. Climate reparations are stalled. $100 billion promise broken. $100 billion promise broken. Western media frames it as natural disasters, not fossil fuel colonialism. Mass migration will explode, but borders are militarizing. Stat that shocks. By 2050, 1.2 billion climate refugees could exist, yet no legal framework to protect them. Now, I don't know what to make of the climate change thing. As I say, I got fed up with it like everyone else that I know when they monetize that shit. As soon as they started making money off catastrophes and scaring people, I checked out completely and just went, nah, climate change is fake and gay. I don't really know what to think about it. It definitely seems like there's a bit more kick in the sun these days. But, I guess it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. It's been an interesting stream. It's been a bit different tonight, but I'll leave you with this. Definition of entropy. Your rent goes up while the house falls apart.
Oh, no, not another box of dogs.
It's another box of